Hello and welcome. Occam Edge provides investable clarity to complex projects. Today, we're going to talk about how investors can really get a handle on the huge risks that come with new hardware technologies and how to turn all that uncertainty into a clear, bankable path forward.
You know, this quote, we hear this all the time. It's from the CEO of a major tech provider, and it just hits the nail on the head. It's that painful gap, right, between the dream of innovation and the cold, hard reality of actually getting it built. So let's dive into the problem that gap creates, and that's the staggering, often hidden cost of risk you just can't see. I'm sure we've all seen headlines just like these. And let's be clear, these aren't just one-off stories. Whether it's bioenergy or batteries, these hidden risks can create a domino effect, a cascade that leads to catastrophic failures, wiping out billions of dollars and setting back real innovation. This is the spot where so many incredible projects just die. It's called the Valley of Death. And they don't fail because the science is bad. Nope. They fail because the execution risk just feels too high, and that scares away the capital needed to get to scale. So what's really going on here? Well, the problem is that the standard tools, the usual static spreadsheets, they're just not built for this. They totally miss the weird failure modes you only get with new hardware. They can't model risks that change and ripple through a system, leaving investors completely blindsided by massive cost overruns. And this is exactly where Occam Edge changes the game. We give you a fundamentally new way to see, to measure, and to actually manage that project risk. Our whole mission is really simple, but it's powerful. We turn that fog of uncertainty into crystal clear, investable clarity. And we do it by looking at projects for what they really are, not static lines on a spreadsheet, but dynamic, living, interconnected systems. And that's how we spot the critical risks everyone else is missing. This is a perfect way to see it. Just look at the difference. On the left, you've got a solar project. It's modular, right? The pieces are pretty separate. Risk is contained. But on the right, that's a nuclear project. It's this dense web where one tiny failure can send a shockwave through the entire system. We actually put a number on this. We calculate what we call a complexity score. It's a direct measure of how tangled up a system's parts are, and it's an incredibly powerful way to predict where those hidden bottlenecks and cascading failures are hiding. Okay, enough with the theory. Let's see how this actually works in the real world. We're going to take a look at the execution risk for a green hydrogen project, specifically a PEM system. Right out of the gate, our analysis shows you exactly where green hydrogen sits on the risk spectrum. You can see it right there. Its cost overrun profile is moderate. It's sitting right between the low, predictable risk of solar and the really extreme, heady-tailed risk you see with nuclear. Now look at this table. The median cost overrun, that P50 number, for this hydrogen project is a pretty manageable 4%. But here's the number that should really get your attention, the P90 tail risk. It's a whopping 125%. What that means is there's a 1 in 10 chance that the project's costs could more than double. So 125% cost overrun sounds bad, but what does that actually mean for your money, for your return? That's the question that really matters to every single investor. And here's the answer. This chart shows the impact, and it is devastating. That P90 tail risk event, that 1 in 10 shot, it takes the expected 15% IRR and crushes it all the way down to 6.7%. It basically just wipes out the entire economic case for the project. But we don't just tell you what the risk is. We show you why. Our platform lets us zoom in and see the whole project network, just like you're seeing here. And this lets us pinpoint the exact risk hubs. See those highlighted clusters? For this hydrogen system, the analysis screams that the biggest integration risk is right there, concentrated in 2 spots, the power system and the raw water pretreatment system. Those are your critical points of failure. And that right there is the key. Once you can identify these specific risks up front, you suddenly have a clear, actionable way to get from deep uncertainty to a bankable, risk-adjusted return. So what we're really giving you is high-confidence forecasts on your costs and your returns. We pinpoint the exact things driving that risk, which means you can make much smarter decisions about your supply chain, about how you structure contracts. And that's how we turn what looks like scary venture risk into a solid, bankable asset. At the end of the day, what our analysis delivers is what every investor and every developer is looking for, a clear, data-driven roadmap to making a project truly bankable. Let's go back to that green hydrogen project. We can actually chart a specific path to improve its credit rating. We can show, step by step, how tackling specific risks around cost, capital, and offtake agreements can methodically lift that project from a B rating today to a much more attractive BB+ in the future.
And we do this through a really structured process. We start with a rapid benchmark. We'll get you a key risk map in 24 hours. Then we go to a deep dive for a full-on bankability assessment. And finally, we deliver a future-proof plan, which is basically a concrete playbook for how to mitigate risk with tools to manage it going forward.
Look, our whole mission is to break this frustrating stalemate between great ideas and the capital they need. We translate all that complex, technical risk into a clear financial language that everybody gets. That helps capital flow faster, and it helps incredible technologies move from a cool idea to an actual reality. So, I'll just leave you with this one critical question. For anyone investing in this space, are you ready to look past those simple, rosy projections? Are you ready to know the real odds of success and get true execution intelligence?
Thank you. Occam's Edge provides investable clarity to complex projects. We empower investors to confidently fund the next generation of technologies our world absolutely needs.